This is Hydro Jerry coming to you from hot old Kansas. It's 100 degrees outside today, and middle of summer, middle of July, and my favorite crop to grow is spinach and lettuce. And there's no way that you're going to grow spinach when it gets above 75 degrees or 80 degrees. It's just going to bolt on you, which I found out. Now, I've been growing lettuce very successfully the last 4 years in water. And I started off, I learned everything I needed to know to do it on YouTube. I started off with some of the videos I watched, and I used cast off plastic bottles and different things, and different kinds of fertilizer. Nothing worked. Then finally, I started using these little net cups. They call them a net cup because it's kind of a net there. And it allows you to put what's called a grow cube, or this is made out of spun rock. It's like cotton candy, only it's rock. And so it's, when you dispose of it in a landfill or wherever you want to dispose of it in the ground, it just is rock and it'll crumble up. But anyway, what you do is, they got a little hole in the top for putting the seed. You put it inside of there, and then I use, the last couple of years I've been using these, and they're wonderful. Amber colored, 3-inch diameter, quart mason jars. Now, the first ones I bought I could buy at the hardware store here in Salina, but they quit selling them. The only place I could get them was on Amazon. The only place I can get these are on Amazon. These aren't sold in our little city. And then the other thing that I had to also, I got everything on Amazon pretty much, not all of it, is the fertilizer that goes in it. Now this fertilizer called Maxi Gro is a 10 by 5 by 14. Those are the numbers. It's got other stuff in it like iron, but you don't want to try to, I wouldn't suggest you use anything but this, because if you use other products that I've seen, you have to mix them and you can get it wrong. These, you put a teaspoon, a level teaspoon, and they come with a little plastic measuring teaspoon in here, teaspoon and tablespoon, to 1 gallon of tap water. Now, essentially, you don't have to buy everything. For example, on Amazon, there's a 2% gallon milk jug, okay? And I've got a little 1-inch diameter funnel that goes on top of here, and I put a teaspoon of Maxi Gro in here, fill it with tap water. The tap water mixes it. When it's going in, you put the fertilizer in first, and the tap water mixes it when it goes in. And I have 3 of these on hand all the time. I've been using the same 3 bottles for the last 2 years, and they're starting to turn kind of a reddish brown. And what that is, nothing wrong with it, doesn't bother anything over a year or so, but that's iron from the fertilizer attaching itself to the sides of the bottle. As long as I can see what the level is, I'm good to go. Okay, so I can't stress this enough. Quart, 3-inch diameter, amber colored mason jars. 6 of these cost me right at $30 on Amazon. A family of 2, you can grow all the lettuce that you'll consume for a family of 2, or if you've got man and wife and 2 kids, probably for 4. But once you get these, I've never broken one yet, knock on wood, but they're reusable. These net cups, I bought 48 of these it's going on 4 years now. Still using the same ones. This is one I've never used yet. I keep it in case I want to take a photograph of it. And then I buy these. I buy them in a, these here cost me $15. These are those grow plugs. You get them in a package like this. There's 48 in here. The way you want to work with them, they come dry, but you want to get a little plastic container that'll hold, that you can lay one of these in and pour water over it so they soak up. And then use a very sharp knife and just slice them up into these kind of cubes. Because, and I would say, don't handle these with your bare hands. Well, you know, you can, but if you don't want to handle a lot of them, because it is like spun glass. It's not fiberglass. It's just it's molten rock that's been spun like cotton candy. So I just use a pair of nitrile gloves, just, you know, the kinds you might do dishes with, just to protect my fingers. Otherwise, they get a little itchy, and there's no need for that. So this package here will pretty much last me almost about, well, not a year, but I need 2 of these a year because I grow at least 100 heads of lettuce a year. Now I've got the lettuce down to where there's some tweaks I could do, but I'll explain some of those later. But I produce large plants of loose leaf lettuce that are about 12 inches in diameter. If I let them grow to full height, then I usually don't. But I've done just to see how big they get. And about 9 inches tall. And I grow about 8 of these at a time. So when there's 8 of these things growing, and they're producing, and they start producing at 30 days after you plant the seed. When these start about their 35th day, then I start another 8 of them. And then when these finish up after about 5 weeks of heavy production, the others take over. So I'm never out of lettuce. I grow a lot more than we use. I give it away to friends and relatives, a lot of it. Some of them I just throw it away, but I wouldn't need to grow that much if there was just my wife and I and we're the only ones, but I like to give it away. And the other thing, I think I mentioned this, just a little, I bought these when they were $7, but now they're about 12 bucks. So no, they're 10 bucks. This is a little General Electric heavy duty timer. When you plug it into the power, 3 prongs, then you can plug two outlets in. It has 2 outlets. And then you can program it just by pushing down and lifting up these little levers. So I have them go about 12 hours a day. It turns on at 7 in the morning, turns off 7 at night. I'll go over this again a little bit later, but I wanted to show you the basics. So if you're going to get started, don't go through all the stuff I did with plastic bottles and try to. These are, once you get on these, you'll really like them. And then don't use Miracle Grow, or try to say you got some leftover Miracle Grow and you think it's just as good as this. Miracle Grow is great for in the garden, outdoors, and in dirt, but it doesn't work with hydroponics. So this does. Tap water, teaspoon of this, a gallon of water. Now, I do a lot of experimenting, and right now I'm trying to figure out how to grow flat leaf spinach, the kind you have in salads, a little better than my first test case. They did okay, but I think I should get a lot more production out of them. So I'll be bringing that along too. That's all I have for right now. Good growing.